Hello everyone, I thought I'd do a video, my first one since Christmas. I really hope you all had a lovely Christmas despite these restrictions. I know some of you may have been stopped from seeing family members, but I hope in spite of all the restrictions this Christmas that all of you around the world got to see and be with your family and no one was left on their own. The energy I felt on Christmas Day was, I felt that some people were just not, some people were on their own, and some people I found out after the event were on their own, and I just felt an energy of isolation. So my heart goes out to anyone that was on their own this Christmas. Actually gets me a little bit tear jerky, especially people that I know and love that I found out that they weren't with people I thought they were actually on their own this Christmas. And that's been one of the big problems with the pandemic, is isolation. And I hope you're all okay. And I hope everyone's emotional, spiritual and mental health is getting through it. So what I wanted to do was a video to give you all a little bit of hope for 2021. 2021 is coming. We're in between Christmas and New Year. And whoever is allowed in my vicinity this year, I'm going to have the new year of my life and say goodbye 2020, because 2021 is going to be a more relaxed year for us. Before I move on, just want to let you know I'm thinking about doing another live, so it'll be question and answer, answering people's questions about their chart, speaking about what the year has ahead, how that affects you, whatever personal year you are. And I'll probably do another 2-hour slot. I thought first of all the 1st of December, but I thought no, if people are allowed to be together, that is a family day. So I'm thinking the 2nd of December, I'm going to do 7 p.m. again, which I guess is okay for an earlier viewing for people over in America, but might be a bit late in the day for people for my subscribers that are to the east. So I am thinking about doing 2 lives on the 2nd of December. One earlier in the day, which may or may not have anyone on it, but it gives an opportunity for those to the eastern side of the world, because they're ahead of us, for it not to be too late in the day. And you can also be involved in my lives. I like to involve everyone. So one in the morning at around 11, I'm thinking, but put comments down if you want me to change times. One in the morning at about 11, and then another one at 7 o'clock for Europe and America. But let me know if you have any other ideas and you think, this would be better or that would be better, because at the minute I'm just spitballing ideas. So let's move on to a more positive 2021. Right, so 2021 is going to be a 5 personal year. I made a mistake already. So 2021 is going to be a 5 universal year. This is the energy that hits us all. So, everyone in the world is going to get hit by this 5 universal year. And of course, we calculate that by adding the digits together. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1 equals 5. So that is our universal year. So we can take a bit more of a deep breath this year, because last year was about, how serious was it last year? Focusing more on the detail of everyday life, the practical day-to-day life of the 4 energy for 2020 really was, have I washed my hands? Have I brought my mask with me? Is my mask in my pocket? Have I done everything I need to do? Is it the right time? Will there be crowds? Oh my goodness, we have to plan, we have to think, we have to look at the detail. We might get a bit of anxiety this year. I know I did, because those masks are horrific and I'd just rather not go out than have to wear one. Oh, did they make me stress? So the 4 energy is a more hardworking, more procedure orientated, more detail driven year. Not so much fun. No, 2020 hasn't been so fun. A 4 year is less social. You are more isolated in a 4 year. So to me, 2020 has emblazoned everything of the 4 energy that it possibly could. Meticulous procedures, rules, restrictions. Oh my God, the restrictions. Focusing on thinking about the future, maybe setting goals to try and diversify, especially if you've had your business destroyed over this universal year. It's going to be thinking, how can I keep my security? Maybe feelings of lack in 2020 because of the restrictions, because no money's coming in for a lot of people. However, we are coming towards the 5 universal year. It's more about freedom. So I feel the restrictions are obviously going to ease off. It's not going to be a sudden change. I think the 5 universal year is starting to merge in now. Things are going to start relaxing, as we know, especially as the vaccinations are all here. So things are going to start relaxing off. And then as we hit sort of, January, it will still be on the change. Things will still be relaxing. And by February, maybe even, no, I think March is a bit late. Definitely by March, we'll be strongly into that 5 year where people will be feeling more freedom. There'll be more expansion. People will be able to see each other. People will be able to travel more. People will loosen up. The stress of the 2024 year is going to be gone. You'll find a bit more of your adventurous spirit. The anxiety is going to drop away because now you're going to be allowed to travel, but there's going to be some change. And whatever that change is, and it's going to be, some of it is going to be unexpected. And, as we know, there's good and bad change. So it's how we adapt to the change that comes about and how we use it to our advantage. Change can sometimes be really like, oh my God, at first. But when you really think about it, sometimes change and different situations can be diversified on, and you can change things to fit your needs. Okay, so think about that more. If you have change happening in 2021, it's going to be very much about adapting to that change, and if you can, using that change to your advantage. I'm certainly going to try to. It's also about, you're very adventurous. It's a very adventurous universal year. We're going to have loads of opportunities, much more than we've had this year. But it's not just going to be about the breadth of experience that we are going to be allowed to have, but it's going to be also about depth experience. People are going to be like thirsting for knowledge this year. The 5 energy is very much about looking into all the topics of interest and learning about everything, and then focusing on maybe 1 or 2 subjects that really take you to mastery. But in a nutshell, 2021 is going to be less about seriousness, more about relaxing, taking a breath. We can socialize more. We'll be able to travel more. The only thing that makes you think, is the changes that are going to take place. Is it going to be good or bad change? For some people, it might be good. For some people, it might be bad. How are we going to adapt to that change? And if possible, how are we going to use that change, whether sudden or not, to our advantage? So the energy of the 5 universal year will be more about freedom, doing more of what you want, less restrictions and expansion, getting out there, doing things. The focus and procedures and worry and anxiety of the 4 year is now gone. We can throw more caution to the wind, which means we can drop the restrictions a bit, get those nasty, horrific scourge masks out of our lives. I mean, if they were any use, why are we still in lockdown? Anyway, horrible things. We can stop that rubbish, get rid of all the restrictions and all the making our skin on our hands dry from excessive washing, and be a bit more relaxed, not have to worry about, sterilizing yourself before you leave the house and sterilizing yourself when you get back. Trust the universe to provide that little bit more, because we're going to have had a difficult year. A lot of people are going to be struggling with their finances, and it's going to be difficult for you to throw caution to the wind when you've just had your business destroyed. But as much as you can, try and relax and trust the universe to provide. As long as you're taking the right action for your life path and your expression, the universe will provide for you. And keep those positive thoughts, thinking about your future in a positive way. Tell the universe what you want. Don't tell the universe what you don't want with worry and anxiety. Okay, tell the universe what you want. We may spend more money if we're able and we haven't had our livelihoods destroyed, and take more chances. You know, if you have had your livelihood destroyed, you might have to take a few chances to be able to get back on the wheel, if you know what I mean. You know, some people are going to have to take a few chances this year in order to try and get themselves back up from such a destructive 2020 year. We will experience change. Change in procedures. You know, the new normal worries me, because you don't want it to be too restrictive on our lives, because that will just make us all miserable. So we need to experience change, but we're also going to need to deal with that and not respond to it negatively like I just did, and think, okay, how can I use what they're bringing into my life to my advantage? Unexpected events, maybe. This could be anything. This could be environmental, this could be social, it could be financial, it could be good, it could be difficult. But, you know, things are good and bad depending on how you perceive them, right? So how can you use these changes, these unexpected events, to be adaptable, flexible, and maybe even use them to your advantage? Travel will definitely recommence. You'll be experiencing more things. It's about expansion. We can meet new people again. Woo! But this is the energy that we're going to get from the universe, so everyone's going to be experiencing this. An important change is likely. The result will depend on how you adapt, as I've said. Be ready to take advantage of those changes. Use them to your advantage. Go for variety of experience as well as depth of experience. Get out there, do things, focus and look around you, you know, experience as much as you can. And then when you find a passion that you love, something that you really, really connect with, go into it that little bit more deeply, because mastery will bring you even more freedom. The discipline that you use to achieve that mastery will bring you even more freedom in your 5-year. Meet new people, travel to new places, take up new opportunities, move away from routines and the restrictions and the bogged down stuff we had from last year. Look in a different direction, expand your horizons, move away from the repetition and the procedure of the way things were in 2020. Be a bit more restless, be a bit more impulsive and less, oh, what have I got to do? You know, how am I going to do that? Sterilize myself, sterilize everyone else, run away from everyone. Don't breathe on me. That's all going to be chilled now. Thank goodness. Take a deep breath in 2021 is all I can say. But then you've got, what else have you got to contend with? You've got to contend with the energy that is hitting you personally. So the universal year of 5 is always going to be around you, and it's going to affect everything, and it will affect everyone. But it's going to be how your personal year fits in with that and how you can work with the 5 universal year. But before I carry on with personal years, there is some disagreement at when the personal year starts. Some people say that your personal year changes and becomes the next personal year on or around, just before or around your actual birthday. So that would be like middle of the year if your birthday was June. Or some people say, some numerologists say that your personal year starts in the year of that year, the beginning of that year, and starts to merge in the autumn before that year. So if you feel a change in your personal year, or you've noticed differences around your birthday, and that is going to be obvious if your birthday's around May, June, July, because you'll feel the change in the middle of the year. If you feel that change in the middle of the year, don't listen to anyone else telling you your personal year doesn't start then. Your intuition tells you what's right for you. I don't believe in telling anyone that that's wrong or that's right. It depends what resonates with you. So do you feel your personal year starts on your birthday or the autumn before the beginning of the next year? For me, I can't make that decision because my birthday is on the autumn before the beginning of 2021. So I've just had my birthday. And I'm already feeling my next personal year. And I'll tell you a bit more about that towards the end of the video. I'm already feeling my next personal year, but I can't really tell you whether my personal year starts on my birthday or at the end of the year, because my birthday is near the end of the year, you know? So do what you feel. Have a real on your birthday, sort of think back, muse, meditate. Does your life tend to change? Does the energy change around about your birthday? Or do you feel that your change in energy actually happens at the end of the universal year? It's going to be up to you. I've found that a lot of people feel that it's actually at the end of the universal year, but there are a few that are adamant, especially those that know that their personal year starts on their birthday. So please make it something that fits and resonates with you. Don't let anyone ever tell you that your intuition is wrong. Okay? So we need to think about as well how your personal year fits or works with the 5 universal year. But before we think about that, I'm just going to remind you on how to calculate your personal year. So what you need to do is take your birthday, reduce down to a single figure. No master numbers. No master numbers. Okay? Reduce your birthday down to a single digit. Your birth month down to a single digit. No master numbers. And then add that to the universal year, which this year is 5. For example, my birthday is in the autumn before. The 29th of October is my birthday and month. So I add my 2 and 9 together. That brings to an 11. For a birthday number, I would stick to that 11 because it's a master number. But for the purposes of personal year, I'm going to drop it all the way down to a 2. Then October, 1 and 0 is 1. So at the bottom here, I've got the 2 from my day, the 1 from my month. So I add the 2 to the 1 from my month to the 5 universal year, and that makes me in an 8 personal year. And I must admit, I love doing this, my numerology, and I don't get paid for it at the moment. It's hoping that, I do readings and things like that, but I'm hoping that it'll build up. And this year I'm hitting my 8 personal year of money and finances. And I've already had a couple of people say to me, can I support you financially? And I'm thinking, how do I do that? I've got, opened a Patreon account and I'm looking at it like a dumbass like a dumb person. And you can do it on YouTube as well, but it's something that I will sort out. But I'm in an 8 personal year, so I do need to think more about maybe my finances, my practical matters, and doing what I really want, which is making numerology my whole life so that I can spend every minute of my life drinking and speaking numerology. Oh, that would be amazing. And if I can earn money from that, that will give me the opportunity to be able to do that. So it's my 8 personal year, very exciting. So this year, because it's my 8 personal year, I'm planning on trying to build my business and trying to get more money into my business so that I can make numerology my 100% focus and obsession, which it already really is. And to help me mix that with the 5 personal year, I'm going to have to throw caution to the 5 universal year, I'm going to have to, be a bit adaptable. I'm going to have to throw caution to the wind that little bit more. Take a few calculated risks, maybe. Deal with change. Be adaptable. Be flexible. I'm going to merge the two of them. So, what is your personal year? So if you've worked out your personal year and you want to know how that's going to work with the 5 universal year, well, if your personal year is a 1, it's very much about new beginnings, bringing new things, starting new projects, meeting new people that are going to be key in the next 9 years of your epicycle. It's a time for starting new projects, things that are going to, new projects, new ideas, making new connections. And these are going to be really important for you for the next 9 years of your epicycle. So it's very much about initiation, getting started. It's going to be a really powerful energy when you've got a 1 energy, and that can fit with the 5. The 5 is also a high energy year, so if you're in a 1 personal year, the 1 and 5 together, it's going to be a very energetic expansion, socialized year for you, 2021. You're going to be out there meeting people, starting new things, expressing yourself, getting involved with the relaxation of the universal 5 energy. So it's going to be quite a high energy, go, 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 go energy for you if you're in a 1 personal year right now. If you're in a 2 personal year, the energy that the 5 is being pounded at you from the universe at the minute, the 5 universal year might feel a little bit harsh for you. You might feel, because you're in your 2 personal year, you're at a lower energy. You're quite exhausted this year. You really feel the need to have a bit of rest. Maybe you had a really, really busy and hard work in 2020. Maybe a lot of things started for you last year because it was your 1 personal year. And this year you need to think about nurturing all the ideas you started in 2020 in spite of the restrictions. So whatever ideas you started in 2020, in your 2 personal year in 2021, you need to be having a bit more of a lower energy, a bit more of a time where you're socializing with less people, socializing but with less bigger groups, more one-to-one, more nurturing, more quiet. You're more of a planner. You're going to be connecting emotionally with people, but it's not going to be lower energy, more relaxed. But the universe is going to be throwing 5 energy at you of expansion and go here, go there. So you might find yourself in your 2 personal year being too exhausted sometimes to really engage in the new 5 year, because it's a time for nurture and planning and relaxation for you if you're in a 2 personal year. So you may find that the 5 energy this year is a little bit overwhelming for you, but it's perfectly okay for you in your 2 personal year to push away the energy of the 5 universal year when you need to, and take that time to relax, ruminate, nurture your relationships and plan. Don't allow 2021 to take over you when you're in your 2 year. If you're in your 2 year, it's nurture, it's relaxation, it's nurturing and thinking about what you started last year, connecting on a deep level with others. It's a time for having your relaxation, social time, having a cup of tea with those you love, and really thinking about and ruminating what you did last year. If you're in a 3 personal year, it's going to be a real go, go, go high energy year again, because the 5 universal years pounding you with the energy of freedom and expansion and socializing and getting out there and meeting everyone and doing new things and experiencing everything and doing everything. And your 3 personal year is very much about being scattered, doing what you want, no routine, socializing, having fun, being creative, working when you feel like it, implementing your creativity, networking with people, building lucrative relationships, and above all else, having fun. So if you're in a 3 personal year this year, expect fun, expect expansion, expect opportunities to meet people, to socialize with others. You may want to act, you may want to sing, you may want to express yourself with your art this year, with your words this year. Act, sing, express yourself emotionally this year. And it's a very, very go, strong, powerful year for you if you're in a 3 personal year. And then when you're adding to that the energy of the 5 universal year, you're going to be quite go, 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 go. Okay, so you need to take time out to relax sometimes, because your body might not be able to cope with the constant go, go, go of a 3 personal year with an energy of a universal 5 year. Okay, so that's why my speed of my speaking's gone up, because I'm really feeling that 3 and 5 energy, and it's really making me think, stress. But it doesn't have to be negative stress. It can be excitement and new beginnings, and well, not new beginnings as such, that's in your 1 year. It's new experience is what I mean. New experience, emotional expression, fun, laughter, positivity. Have a good and relaxing year if you're in a 3 personal year this year. Your 4 personal year is going to be a little bit more difficult, because we've just left a 4 universal year, which was quite heavy. And this year, the universe is throwing you the energy of caution and expansion and non-focus on and experience and meeting new people and doing new things. But your 4 energy of your personal year wants you to have a bit of a lower energy, to have more rules, more procedures, build security, build your safety, build that strong foundation, continue on with the restrictions, the planning, the meticulous step-by-step goal setting this year. So the world's going to give you very much an energy of expansion, but it's a time for you to sit down and think, right, what are my goals? How am I going to achieve my goals? What process am I going to use? What restrictions might I come across? I need to get serious this year. 2021's throwing me this expansive, fun, get out there and meet people attitude. And actually, I'm a 4 personal year and I need to be thinking about building my security this year. So building that strong foundation, being analytical, being meticulous, planning, persevering through adversity, step-by-step work, and above all, having patience. The universal 5 years is going to throw so much energy at you, you might struggle to be patient, and you might have to often block out the 5 universal year as much as you can to help you focus on your 4 personal year. So make time for yourself if you're in a 4 personal year. Make the area around you tranquil. Lock the door so that no one else can barge in on you, and really think about, what am I going to do next? And then open that door, come out and start taking action. Okay, that's when the 5 personal that's when the 5 universal year is going to be more helpful, because when you've planned and you're ready to take action in your 4 personal year, the 5 universal year is going to give you opportunities that your 4 personal year can take advantage of to help build your security. So start the year maybe with planning. If you haven't already, set some goals, know what your path is going to be, set your process, then hit that 5 universal year and say, right, where's my opportunities? I'm going to use those opportunities to my advantage to help me achieve my goals and to build my security. Okay, so there's always a way to use that energy to your advantage. At first, you might need to pull it away, get to a point where you can use that energy to your advantage, and then go for it. Okay, that's if you're in a 4 personal year. 5 personal year, oh dear, you're going to be feeling that 5 energy hit you double time. Excuse me. Double time that energy. So it's going to be an exhausting year for you. If your personal year matches the universal year, you always have a very intense year. Okay, last year would have been intense for you. Hard work, restrictions, 2020 and 4 personal year. That must have been a hard year. This year, it's going to be fun, socializing, new opportunities again. It's going to be heavy, it's going to be high energy, but it's going to be less serious, less restricted, less hardworking, less serious. Less, you've got to do it that way, sterilize yourself, sterilize the world. You know, it's going to be more expansive. Your 5 energy is going to be really intense, because the universe is throwing you a 5 energy and you're a personal year. You're getting the 5 energy from your personal year too. So this is a year for expansion for you. Come away from the routine, come away from the everyday, travel, adventure, meet new people, take up every experience you're offered, whether you feel that you want to do it or not, because you never know. It could be amazing. Take up opportunities, do new things, build new relationships, deal with unexpected events. You're going to need to be flexible and very adaptable. So when you're in a 5 personal year with the 5 2021 energy, there's going to be a lot happening to you. There's going to be a lot of change. Nothing's going to stay the same this year. But again, it's how you deal with that change and how you adapt to it and then use it to your advantage that is going to be the most important thing. So the energy will hit you hard in your 5 personal year. Take time out to try and relax, try and breathe, and try and bring some calm into your life, as well as all the excitement that is going to be hitting you, so that you don't just drop from exhaustion, really. 6 personal year. If this year is going to be about the 6, it's very much about family. So this year you're going to be coming out of a very restricted 4 year, and you might have had a personal year of new opportunities. This year, you're getting the energy of the 5 from the universal year, but you need to be in the 6 energy. So you're getting the 5 and the 6 energy hitting you. So the 6 energy is going to be more about your family. So this year, 2021, more than ever, if you're a 6 personal year, it's going to be about family dramas. You're going to get a lot of requests from family. Something might happen in the family that's going to need your attention, your children or your parents, or, depending on your age and status in life. People in your family, children or grandparents or parents, are going to be making demands of you. And you're going to be having to prioritize that this year. And with the 5 universal year giving you all these masses of opportunities in the outside world, you might find yourself a bit restricted to family issues at times, which could be quite frustrating, but try and work through it this year. It's certainly going to be about nurturing your family, looking at the ideal. So this year, the changes that take place, whether or not they fit with your ideals in your personal year 6, it's really important that you try and rationalize whether the changes fit your ideals or not. You're going to need to be able to rationalize and get through it and work in spite of it at the end of the day, because no one's going to always fit our ideals, and one person's ideal is another person's hell at the end of the day. So you might have a feeling of, these changes, they're going to make the world worse, or you might find that these changes are good. They're closer to what you feel is the ideal in this world. Or, like I said, it could be the other way. You might feel that the changes are anti what you feel is an ideal, and you could struggle. But if you feel that coming on this year, try and reconcile and rationalize your ideals with what's happening in reality to save your own happiness and save yourself from disappointment and low mood. Okay, your ideals don't always fit practical reality, but that's the idea of being on earth. We need to learn from adversity. We need to learn from difficulties. Okay, that's what the universe isn't just good, it's bad, it's everything. The universe is all experience, everything. If you're in a 7 personal year, the 5 energy is going to be hitting you, telling you to do all these new things, go to all these new places, meet all these new people, but really, you're in a 7 personal year. You don't really want to be involved, and that is okay. Don't feel that if in your 7 personal year, you don't want to see people so much. You don't want to get out there and take all the opportunities and socialize so much. You're in a 7 personal year, so you're allowed to push the 5 universal year away whenever you need to. Your 7 personal year is about reflection. It's about time alone, spirituality, self-discovery, really looking at who you are as a person, meditation, spending time alone in reflection, in nature, research, learning, analysing what you're learning and then filtering it through your intuition, learning spiritual concepts, big picture concepts, and really finding out who you are. So the 7 year is lower energy. You're going to be more about sitting at home or in your office, thinking, musing, learning about yourself, having more time in isolation to develop yourself personally. And that is perfect. Okay, don't be thinking that or feeling bad when you have to push that 5 universal year away sometimes, It's very high energy, and with lots of experience, people are going to be saying to you, do you want to come out here? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Should we go here? Oh, this is new. And you're sometimes very often going to be, actually, no, I actually don't want to. I don't want to go out. I don't want to expand. I don't want to socialize. I really don't. I want to muse and I want to think about who I am. Okay, which is fine. But you can use the 5 energy if you want to help yourself to focus on mastery of yourself. The 5 energy is very much about mastery. What about focusing on self-mastery this year? And maybe only letting the 5 energy in when you need to express your spiritual ideas and your inspiring, innovative messages. Communicate to people when you feel able to. But if you feel yourself pulling back from the energy of the 5 universal year, don't fret. You're in a 7 personal year, and it's perfectly natural to do that. In your 8 personal year, things are going to start picking up financially for you. However, it can pick up financially, or it can go severely bad in the other way. So positive action to bring yourself forward with a good attitude will help you make money in your 8 personal year. It's about practical matters, looking at your finances, making sure that you're building abundance, balancing your personal power, and using whatever abundance you do achieve this year to help other people. I'm in my next year, I'm going to be in my, or even now if it starts on my birthday, because I'm already feeling it, practical matters, finances, making money. I'm not feeling the personal power bit yet, but actually I suppose I am in some areas of my life. When I think about my family, I am feeling that I'm less stressed about things, and whereas I could have been quite a dominant person, I feel I'm balancing out and being a little bit more passive of late. So this might come through more for me in my 8 personal year. And of course, I love to help other people. And if I do make money through doing numerology or anything else, I always have and always would put it into helping other people, helping my family, those around me, and of course, putting my time into helping you guys. 9. Okay, if you're in a 9 personal year, the universal energy is going to be throwing you all these new opportunities for expansion and experience. Come do this, come do that, let's do this. But if you're in a 9 personal year, you need to be thinking about what is in your life right now that isn't serving you. And that doesn't just mean clearing out your cupboards and throwing away the old. It includes that, but on a bigger, more big picture level. On a 9 personal day, I might clear out my cupboards. But in a 9 personal year, that expands a little bit more to what in my life in general isn't serving me. What am I holding on to all this time, which really isn't serving me and shouldn't be in my life in my 1 personal year next year? So think about completion this year. You're going to be thrown all these new opportunities. People are going to be saying, do this, do that. Let's try this new thing. And you might have to sometimes push that away and think, no, I need to think about what I need to remove from my life right now, not cluttering up my life with all new experience. I'm not saying don't indulge yourself in the 5 universal year. It's fun. But also take time to think about what you shouldn't be taking into 2022. What do I need to end? Now, some of these things, some of these endings, remember, it's a 5 universal year of change. So endings are going to be easier. Okay, so any endings that you need to make this year, whether it be an easy ending or a hard emotional ending, keep focused on that ending. It will be emotional. It will throw your life up in the air if it's a massive change, especially a change in relationship, but it might be a change of job. You might move house, you might change areas, you might move countries. But whatever you change or whatever is in your 9 personal year that you do not want to take into next year need to be tied up and removed. Tied up loose ends, get rid of anything, create a void that you can fill with all your new ideas for your 1 personal year in 2022. Okay, so your 9 personal year, there's going to be a lot of change from the 5 universal year, but you're also doing a lot of change yourself, and it could be quite emotional change. So you're ending this year and the world is changing around you. So you're ending things and the opportunity is out there. Okay, so you could start thinking about how you're going to use those new opportunities in 2022 when your personal 1 year commences. And it's important that whatever you start in 2022, if you're a 9 personal year this year, is going to dominate the next 9 years of your epicycle. So it's got to be good and it's got to be useful for you and everyone else around you. So I hope you've really enjoyed my video today on 2021. Remember, I'm going to do 2 lives on the 2nd of December, one at about 11 in the morning, and then if I've got the energy, which I will, I love this, again at about 7, so I can talk to as many people as I possibly can on my live feed. Yay! If you want to message me or request a video, please email me or send me a link, send me a message through my social media. All my social media is going to be in the description box. If you want to request a reading, you can contact me through email or through my social media. And if you want to learn about numerology, I have a course on Udemy that I'm going to put a link to that in the description box. Okay, so contact me if you want readings, or you have questions, or you want to request a video, or you just want to speak to me. I'm happy to do that. So, as ever, guys, trust the soul within you and don't let anyone tell you what's right for you. Only you know what's right for you. See you soon.